In 2026, Walmart's Great Value brand is no longer just a budget alternative. For many, it is the primary grocery lifeline. However, as Walmart scales its private label production to record heights this year, the gap between their hero products and their hollow ones has widened. While some items offer the exact same quality as name brands for half the price, others have become victims of skimpflation, where quality is sacrificed to keep prices below the inflationary curve. Quick favor before we move on. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 92% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So did you subscribe already? Great. Thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video. Understanding the 2026 Great Value catalog requires a discerning eye. It's not just about saving pennies. It's about avoiding the fillers, excess sodium, and texture failures that can ruin a family dinner. 7 Walmart Great Value foods to avoid. 1. Great Value frozen cheeseburgers. The reality. In 2026, the consensus among disappointed shoppers is clear. The Great Value frozen cheeseburger is a texture nightmare. Priced aggressively to compete with fast food value menus, these sandwiches suffer from a severe bread-to-meat imbalance. Reviewers frequently report a mealy, crumbly patty that lacks a genuine beef profile, often masked by a rubbery slice of processed cheese. Furthermore, the buns tend to turn rock-hard or soggy during the microwave process, making the convenience factor obsolete. When you factor in the high sodium content and the lackluster protein quality, you're better off buying a pound of ground beef and a pack of rolls. 2. Organic roasted garlic pasta sauce. The reality. You might expect organic to signal a higher standard, but this specific sauce has become a 2026 cautionary tale. Customers have taken to online forums to complain about an overpowering and chemical garlic scent that borders on rancid. While the price point of $2.50 is tempting, the flavor profile is often described as bitter and metallic. This is a classic example of a private label product where the balance of spices hasn't been refined, leading to a sauce that can ruin an entire meal with its sheer intensity. For a few cents more, the standard Great Value marinade or a name brand alternative offers a much safer baseline. 3. Frozen bacon, egg, and cheese burritos. The reality. These breakfast burritos are a lesson in the cold center paradox. Despite updated 2026 cooking instructions, users consistently find that the tortilla becomes shards of glass, hard at the ends, while the filling remains a frozen slush in the middle. When they do heat through, the interior texture is often described as mushy and indistinguishable, with the bacon providing more salt than actual flavor or crunch. At nearly $9 for a pack of 8, the deal evaporates when you realize half of the burritos end up in the trash due to being literally inedible. 4. Great Value beef and broccoli sheet pan meal. The reality. This frozen meal kit attempted to capitalize on the 2025 sheet pan trend, but the 2026 execution is failing. The primary issue is the mealy coating on the beef, which many shoppers find gag-inducing. To keep costs low, the beef is often heavily treated with tenderizers and starches, resulting in a texture that lacks any structural integrity. Additionally, the included sauce packet is notoriously salty, often containing more than 50% of the daily recommended sodium intake in a single serving, drowning out the few pieces of broccoli included in the bag. 5. Great Value original orange juice. The reality. While the pulpy version of Great Value OJ actually receives decent marks, the original, no pulp, version is frequently cited as watery and metallic in 2026. Because it is often made from concentrate with less stringent flavor balancing than brands like Tropicana, it can have a sharp, acidic aftertaste that feels artificial. In an era where shoppers are looking for real ingredients, this juice feels like a relic of high fructose-style processing, lacking the vibrant, fresh squeezed profile that even other budget store brands have managed to master. 6. Great Value frozen steak fries. The reality. In 2026, Great Value's thick-cut steak fries have come under fire for their hollow interior. Unlike the fluffy, potato-rich experience of a name-brand fry, these often turn out greasy on the outside and airy on the inside. Many consumers find that they require nearly double the recommended air fryer time to achieve any level of crispness, at which point they become overly dry. This is a clear case of lower-grade potato stock being used to maintain a sub-$3.00 price point, resulting in a side dish that feels more like a filler than a treat. 7. Great value honey mustard chicken meal. The reality: another victim of the sauce-to-substance ratio. Shoppers report that this meal kit is essentially a bag of potatoes and green beans, with very little chicken to be found. The honey mustard sauce is described as egregiously sweet and synthetic, lacking the tang of real mustard. In 2026, as families look for high-protein options to combat rising food costs, this meal kit fails the value test by providing mostly cheap root vegetables drenched in a high-calorie, low-nutrient syrup. 3 Walmart great value foods that are actually great. 1. Great value fudge mint cookies. The reality: this is the undisputed S tier of the great value lineup. In 2026, these are widely recognized as being better than the original Girl Scout Thin Mints. They are slightly thicker, offer a more satisfying snap, and have a more robust peppermint-to-chocolate ratio. At less than half the price of the cookies they emulate, they represent the peak of dupe culture. For anyone looking for a sweet fix without the branded markup, these cookies are a mandatory pantry addition. 2. 100% Arabica Colombian coffee pods. The reality: while many budget coffee pods taste like burnt paper, Great Value's Colombian Roast has become a 2026 staple for its surprising drinkability. It offers a medium body with genuine fruity notes that punch far above its weight class. It's not a specialty roast, but for a daily morning cup, it is indistinguishable from name-brand pods that cost 40% more. Walmart's investment in its own roasting facilities has clearly paid off here, providing a consistent, roasted flavor that avoids the bitter dregs common in other generic pods. 3. Great value whole vitamin D milk. The reality: Walmart has revolutionized its dairy supply chain by opening its own processing plants, including the new 2026 facility in Texas. This allows them to move milk from the farm to the shelf faster than almost anyone else. The result is a product that customers consistently rate as fresher and colder than name brands. While some users report occasional spoilage issues with the gallon size, the 2026 consensus is that the price-to-quality ratio is unbeatable, with many praising the sweet, creamy profile that is essential for families on a budget. Conclusion: the 2026 takeaway for Walmart shoppers is that the freezer is a gamble, but the pantry is a prize. As we see with the fudge mint cookies and seasoned beans, Walmart's strength lies in its ability to replicate shelf-stable classics and condiments with high precision. However, the second China shock and rising domestic production costs have clearly squeezed the quality of their frozen meat-based meals, where fillers and high sodium have become the norm to keep prices low.